What up, dudes? Alrighty then. So we got Jacob. This guy, I don't know if you've heard of him, but kind of good. Anyways, I got a video on the left of him in the stretch, video of him on the right is going to be in the wind-up. But all we're going to be taking a look at, and I say this in the beginning, and then I'll probably talk about 943.2 different things, but I really want to be taking a look at one thing: initial move. How do you spell initial? Is there 3 I's in initial? In-ish. I think there is. Whoa, I didn't go to college. Initial move. Okay, so I've talked about the initial move and how I believe the initial move is the most important and crucial piece of the delivery because it's setting yourself up for the whole entire phase of the mechanics, right? And in this case, I would encourage you to look at the drivers versus accelerator stuff because there's some things that are a little bit different per each kind of category. But in this case, I think Jacob deGrom does such an incredible job in his initial move to set himself up for success the rest of the way. Now, we're going to start here in the stretch, but I will say this is why I did 2 videos, because the stretch, this is kind of an easier move to accomplish because what you're trying to hold the runner, you're trying to be quicker to the plate, right? So more oftentimes than not, out of the stretch, we do see a better initial move from guys, which is funny, right? Because you would think the opposite. But in this case, as soon as Jacob deGrom is going to disconnect from the ground with his front foot, right? So disconnect obviously means disconnect. You lift your foot, okay? Now, this is an incredibly tough move. I know because I speak from personal experience too, but it's as soon as he disconnects, his trunk is going to initiate movement down, right? So his head, I think I did a video on this actually, his head is going to kind of forward move and then his body's going to follow, watch, right? So this is an incredibly tough move to accomplish. Why? Multiple reasons. We think over time, the more that we hear on time, right? Get on time, we actually perceive that as moving slower, as defying gravity, right? But in this case, we don't realize how incredible the body is at adapting. So in this case, as deGrom initiates this forward move, what happens now? His acceleration rate, right? So his body's overall acceleration rate is increased just because of that forward move and that initial move. Now what happens is he is going to be able to clean up. How do I freaking get this thing? He's going to be able to clean up his arm action because of the increased acceleration, right? So now his arm and his hand, there's no time to get down here, get disconnected back there. Like, it has to stick and move, right? So that's what we see from that. So boom. And then during this position, we see that the head gets centered, right? And then the body is kind of now just extremely adaptable at organization. Boom. So now at anchor point, front foot strike, he has a extremely higher acceleration rate than he would have if he tried to defy that gravity. Gravity is our friend, right? That initial move. We want to get going down the slope. We're the only overhead athletes that throw on a slope. We want to use it to our advantage, right? So, I mean, obviously he does such a good job of making sure that those hips are rotating on time, that the trunk is being delayed because the hand is delayed. But I will say that a good initial move, increasing your forward momentum and acceleration, is going to actually take care of that trunk and that hand from wanting to be what? Early. I think I did a video on that too. But all the same stuff over here, right? So even from the wind up, as soon as he's going to disconnect with that front foot, we're going to see his body shooting forward, right? You can even see it in this angle with like the whole entire body moving forward, right? See that? So I think what happens is a lot of guys kind of feel uncomfortable moving forward, right? They want to go backwards, they want to defy that gravity. So we see that, back and until peak leg lift. Right, so it's typically when the guy reaches peak leg lift that then the descending move is when we start the acceleration, rather than the ascending move is when we start our forward move towards our desired target, right? And we're moving. And then he just drops, boom, stabilizes, front side, the ball is out, we're closed. And now as we go, now we begin to rotate. Whoa, we begin to rotate. Boom. Anchor point, hips rotating, trunks delayed, hands on time, front side's hanging out. Everyone's having fun, especially him. He's kind of freaking good. Cool. That's all I got for you guys. Check out all the other videos that I mentioned today. That was the worst signature I've ever done. And, yeah, talk to you guys later.